So I think we are live now. Yes, I think we are live. So welcome gamers, and Forspoken is launching today, and today is a very big day in the PC gaming industry because this is the very first AAA title of 2023. Last year we have seen God of War PC coming to basically PC, and it was a massive hit. But according to the reviews, okay, so there were a couple of instances. Sorry for the disturbance, but the thing is, guys, the Forspoken will gonna be one of the massive AAA titles which will gonna be launching this year, and this is the very first game, and it is quite demanding. Of course, many of the gamers, a lot of YouTube videos, including mine, have been uploaded constantly criticizing the system requirements of Forspoken. But the good thing is that there will be a free demo, so everybody can download a demo just like Resident Evil Village for this game for free and play the game without any issues and test the game, how the game runs, performs, and you can even do a couple of benchmarks to test whether the game will gonna be running great, should you purchase or not, depending on the performance of the game, of course. So now let me know in the live chat, guys, how do you actually feel and what do you actually feel about the Forspoken, guys. So let me just tell you the system requirements. A lot of people, including me, have done a detailed analysis for this game, Forspoken. So the minimum system requirements start from a whopping GTX 1060 6GB for 720p 30 FPS. So let me just quickly open my own video to actually give you an idea what were the system requirements. So if you just go here, as you can see, the minimum system requirement was GTX 1060 6GB to run the game at 720p 30 FPS. Also 150GB of SSD is recommended. Well, many of my friends only have a 512GB SSD, out of which they are having around 300 or something after installing a couple of games and after installing the Windows, obviously. So now I am very much excited, guys, about this thing, and now I want to know your opinion about this thing because every gamer actually wants to play any AAA game which will gonna be launching. But the thing is, such heavy system requirements actually are unable to provide the decent experience to the gamers. So I think there should be a dedicated performance mode where 1080p resolution should be the native, and the gamer should actually get optimized results, at least for these budget gamers. And do you think FSR 2.1 or FSR 2.2 would gonna be there in this game, and will this thing gonna be impacting the performance of this game severely for these mediocre GPUs? Because I think so far GTX 1650 still rocks a lot of potential. It's just that the developers are getting paid more to optimize the game for RTX GPUs. Obviously RTX 40 series GPUs are out in the market, the new DLSS 3.0 technology is out in the market, newer FSR technology by Nvidia, which is which is by AMD, is out in the market. So all these new technologies are getting incorporated in higher tier GPUs, which actually means that all of the benefits will gonna be squeezed by those high-end PC users which have RTX 3060 or a good AMD GPU. But my opinion is there should be a detailed and dedicated performance mode for 4GB VRAM users, just like Resident Evil Village had a dedicated 4GB VRAM texture mode where the graphics was actually looking good and the performance was good as well. So I actually expect this sort of performance thing, but so far the game is kinda okay, in my honest opinion. According to the reviews, I haven't watched it, but many of my friends are saying the game will gonna be okay. But now I'll gonna be actually going there and waiting and actually checking whether the game will gonna be supporting or releasing very soon or not, because I have recently checked, it was showing around 3 hours or so. So now let me just quickly go over here, guys, and let's actually see when the game will gonna be launching. So on the count of three, let's scroll up and let's see when the game will gonna be launching. So it says coming 24 January 2023, and it is unlocking in approximately 3 hours or so. So 3 hours is the timing, guys. You'll have to wait for 3 hours, and the game will gonna be launching after 3 hours. So I am currently in India, so it's currently around 7:37 p.m. So 8 9 10, so it's gonna be around 10:30 p.m. when the game will gonna be unlocking globally. So at least if you do not want to purchase the game, you can first of all try the demo if you do not meet the system requirements, and then if you like the game, you can plan for a purchase. Although I would not recommend, because always the performance will gonna be impacted and limited by the Denuvo third-party anti-temper DRM. I do not just get any logic or any sense in this game having Denuvo, guys, because this game is literally already too much heavy, and having this sort of DRM actually plagues the performance of the game even further. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Forspoken flop, already released in other country. Oh, bad. That's sad. What are the main drawbacks of this game? Let me know, my friend, because I haven't seen any of the reviews. I was just waiting for the global launch. Although, as it's launched in other country, that's kind of fine. But yep, it was not launched in our country, so I thought, why not wait for the launch in India and then give my opinion. So is there inherent problem in the game, or is it not optimized? Let me know what you actually saw in those reviews. But the main opinion of the gamers is that the system requirement should not be that much heavy, because we all know that the minimum system requirement, the average system requirement, not the minimum, is from GTX 1650. Most of the people on the Steam are rocking a GTX 1650. So the game minimum system requirements should also start from 1650 at least, or 1080p, because if we see the Steam survey, guys, the Steam survey recommends a 1080p. It not recommends, but it shows most of the people are rocking a 1080p monitor with a 1650 card on it. So the minimum system requirements for games in 2023 should start from a GTX 1650 for 1080p low settings, in my honest opinion, not for 720p 30 fps low settings for a 1060. That is actually too demanding, guys. Even I did a poll quite a few days ago, around 6 days ago, where I actually gave you guys a lot of options, and let me know which option you voted for. So the thing is, guys, that even if you just purchase the game, reviews are very bad and the game is too expensive. Okay, the reviews are very bad. Okay, fine, I got you, reviews are bad, but what is bad actually in the game? Is the story being bad, or is there something which is actually bad in the game? Let me know. And let's go over here, and let's go here. So let's actually watch the review, guys. Forspoken review. Okay, wait a second. So I actually do not trust first day reviews, but the thing is, you will have to actually establish a consensus among the gamers. When actually a lot of gamers go ahead on Steam and when they complain of a specific issue, then it becomes a major problem. Just as we have seen with the Callisto protocol, a lot of backlash was seen basically in the first few days of the launch because of the performance issues the game was having. That game was actually CPU bound. A whole lot of CPU requirement was needed specifically for that one single core. And secondly, I think that Forspoken will gonna be a major open world AAA game, but as far as the reviews are concerned, they are kind of okay, they are bad. But obviously most of the gamers do not rely on the reviews, they still go ahead and purchase the game. And after about 2 and 3 months, we see a whole lot of improvements getting incorporated into the game, and this will gonna be a different game, guys. Forspoken, all gamers are excited for Hogwarts Legacy. Certainly they are, but again, that simple game is also having Denuvo, and there is no magic being done. That game is also plagued with Denuvo. Hogwarts Legacy is #1 best selling on Steam, PS5. Yeah, I know that. I recently read a review on the Steam, obviously, and Reddit community as well. So yes, it is already getting a whole lot of pre-orders, but the thing is, that game still has Denuvo DRM, so would the performance be still impacted? Also, the system requirements are heavy for that particular game as well, Hogwarts Legacy. So I will be very excited to know how that game actually fares out. Also, Dead Space is also coming in a few days or so on 27th, so I'm very excited for Dead Space as well. Still, that game is not having any sort of DRM. So if I just go over here, guys, and show you about Dead Space, it is not having any DRM, but on the contrary, this thing is having a DRM and anti-temper DRM, as you can see. So if I just show you guys in a moment that an anti-temper DRM has been incorporated basically in this game, basically, apparently, well, Hogwarts Legacy and this game, a lot of games these days are coming with anti-temper DRM, but one good thing I liked is the demo thing, which will gonna be launching today on all the major platforms, on all the launchers, Steam or Epic, whatever you say. So we will get a rough idea. We will just be testing the game enough whether it is optimized or not. We cannot just blame it on optimization when we do not even meet the system requirements. You're getting my point, right? Because system requirements of this game literally start from a GTX 1066 GB. As I've already said, this is just too demanding to be true. We can actually make some sense, make some logical argument that hey, this is a 2023 AAA open world game which requires a lot of texture building, blah blah blah. But still, that's the thing. These days we see a whole lot of system requirements, but the thing is we never see a crack for a de novo game, because Empress and all of the crackers are just kind of vanished, specifically in terms of de novo. So other than de novo, guys, let's quickly go ahead and let's quickly refresh the Reddit page and let's see what's actually new in the PC gaming community. So let me just quickly refresh your live chat. uh, Dead Space will have a online DRM. Certainly, any EA game always has a online DRM, because Electronic Arts are also the publishers of that particular game. But incorporation of Denuvo is still not mentioned in that, so I'm kind of happy for it temporarily, because if there is no DRM in any game, that actually makes chances of one better performance and certainly better reviews of the users, because some gamers like me can actually get pissed off on day one while hearing the news that hey, this game has de novo. So that actually kind of pisses everything off. From this year I will buy games. Which games? So I think you're going to be buying Hogwarts Legacy. What about RE4 remake? And do you have a good enough GPU to run the game? That's a good news. Apparently you should purchase the games, and that's how the developers earn. Already pre-order Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah. What's your system requirement, by the way? Because I actually, if I even want to pre-order the game, I would actually be limited by my system requirement. That's the biggest thing I am kind of worried about, my friend, because I only have a 1650 laptop with a quad core CPU, and even while streaming I am currently 100% used. My GPU is currently 100% being utilized, one by the OBS, second by the webcam, and third by the the Brave browser which I'm using to watch YouTube, and fourth by the again Chrome browser which I'm reading the chat from. So the thing is, mid-range PC gamers like the GTX 1650 gamers should actually wait for the game to launch, and then they actually should try the demo, and then they should make their mind to purchase the game, because 1650 is not even in the minimum requirement list, and you cannot even expect from a 1650 to play this game at 1080p. So most of the sales will gonna be just limited by the system requirements of the users. We have all being known that hey, this game is having a very decent system requirement, very hardcore system requirement, but we also know the fact that this game will be limited by the system requirement. Also, one another thing is, most of the PC gamers still have a 1650, so most of the PC gamers can actually not purchase the game. So obviously the sales for this game will gonna be limited, depending on whatever the thing is. Even if the game turns out to be good after about a few moments, still the sales will be limited because of such heavy system requirements. As of Hogwarts Legacy, it's kind of good in my honest opinion. Hogwarts Legacy, it's not the everything of the game is good, but I like the concept. But we will still have to wait for the launch, how the game performs. We have seen some games literally having de novo and performing just decent in the past few months, because the Callisto Protocol lags were fixed, Resident Evil Village lags were fixed because of de novo. Gotham Knights was just a creepy mess, we cannot talk about this. Even the de novo-less exe was leaked for that game. Can you imagine it? Such a major AAA game getting a de novo-less exe leak. This is a literally pretty hilarious thing, guys, when company spends literally millions of dollars on de novo and we actually see a de novo-less exe leak. Let's expect from a AAA game in 2023. That will be a pretty amazing and hilarious thing attached left to de novo, because then only we can be able to compare how the game performs. We cannot actually take Gotham Knights example in this case, because Gotham Knights was actually plagued with those shader building issues. So yeah, that's the thing, guys. From this year, nearly all the games next gen, yeah, exactly, it will gonna be requiring good system requirements. If sometimes the GPU prices go very good, then only we can expect to actually upgrade our PC. And technology is just evolving too fast. It's only been 2 years since I have purchased this gaming laptop, and it's already old now, so I cannot use this thing for gaming in 2023 at least. So I will have to upgrade it anyway, regardless of the prices of the GPUs. So this is the thing, guys, these days. And PC building is kinda a tough task in my honest opinion. Most of the people tend to purchase a gaming laptop, but when you purchase a gaming laptop, the performance will not be as good as the gaming PC. One, the thermals will gonna be compromised, because laptop is still a compact thing, and we see heating issues in each and every gaming laptop, and that's why the thermals gets limited. Also, secondly, the performance, which will be actually limited by the limited VRAM, because we have seen RTX 3050 only has 4 GB of VRAM in laptops, while 8 GB on the PCs. So yes, 8 GB VRAM and RTX 3050 will be the least thing these days, I hope, guys. I do not hope, but this is the thing, because system requirements are just getting too much demanding, and that's how we can do. I also have a gaming laptop, but I'm thinking about a gaming desktop. Same here, my friend. I am also thinking about the same. But the thing is that I personally think that I haven't utilized this thing enough. Or, but the thing is, still, regardless, we will have to upgrade if we want to play the next generation gaming. If we see the time frame from the last 5 years, the technology has rapidly actually evolved so much that a PC which you have purchased 2 years ago can literally get outdated quite easily. So today, if you purchase a RTX 3060, it will gonna be at least lasting around 3 years, obviously, depending on its power and its potential. Even if it is a laptop, it will easily last for 3 years for a decent 1080p experience. Even 1660 Ti holds up quite well. But the thing is, upgrading a PC is not an easy job, specifically in India, where gamers rely on their parents' salary to purchase the games and the PCs basically. If somebody's parent actually bought him or her a PC, then he would be completely destroyed, because in the last couple of years we have seen how the graphical requirements go from demanding to too demanding. So that's kind of a great thing, guys, and that's kind of a hilarious thing as well. And now this is the time to actually go here, and we were in the crack watch community, guys. That's so hilarious, because I do not expect a crack coming for a Denuvo game in anytime soon in the near future, because basically Denuvo V16, the game will gonna be having a upgraded version of Denuvo. Obviously, the Denuvo V16 was used in a game from last year. Basically, in January that game was launched, Monster Hunter Rise. That game had Denuvo V16, and it is having a very complicated system thing. Basically, it is almost impossible to give a proper crack for that game. Empress recently made a post about that, and the thing was just pretty nasty. She was even confused how this cracking technology works. So that was the thing. And if you go here, delete 3 times already, lot of the links won't launch until April at the soonest. Oh god, a whole lot of games getting delayed. That's one another issue in the PC gaming community, which is kind of eating it from inside. We have seen a whole lot of Ubisoft games getting delayed. We have seen Stalker 2, and we have seen a whole lot of PC games again getting delayed, like Starfield, Stalker 2, and even this game now, The Lord of the Rings. So a whole lot of delay in the games. I think rather than polishing the games, they are increasing the system requirement, because the thing is, when the developers are unable to polish a game, they increase the system requirement. So they had to not to optimize a game for these lower end GPUs, and that's the thing that's kind of pisses me off every time. But this is the thing, guys. What else can we do? So now I'll gonna be opening YouTube. Basically, I'm gonna be reacting on a few review videos and other things. So let's go over here. Hey slash Whitey, what is going on? And now Empress could not crack. Okay, Empress is retired. Nope, Empress is not retired, neither she is retard. But she kinda looks like a retard person if you just read her NFOs and everything. And now she has been overconfident so far in the last few months. And that was the result even after 2 months of struggle on cracking a game. Even though she claims that she never worked hard on that game, she is unable to crack the new V16. So it's almost a time that Empress now has to do something big before somebody else comes up in the community and just throws her away. So this will be a very major thing, guys. And other than that, let's quickly go ahead and let's actually go here on the YouTube and let's see what's going about Forspoken. We're gonna be searching for GTX 1650, how the game performs. Forspoken is exactly what I feared. Well, this game is not apparently a horror game. It's like an RPG, action adventure, open world thing. But the thing will gonna be obviously insane. Forspoken, I played 40 hours full review. Okay, fine. The game hasn't even launched for globally, and the reviews are already out because of the different time zones and not a global time thing. But the thing is, there has been no review out so far. So let's actually filter it, guys. I'm gonna be using the YouTube filters and gonna be sorting this thing out by the upload date. So let's go over here. Forspoken. So there have been no Forspoken is an unoptimized mess. Well, depends on which thing he is playing the game upon. So this video has been out for quite a long time, but the thing is, if a game has to be unoptimized, it has to contain a huge system requirements list, which this game obviously has. Do you remember having the 1660 Ti as a bare minimum requirement in Gotham Knights? Everybody knew that that game was a stuttery mess, that game was an unoptimized shit, and still it had a 1660 Ti system requirement for the bare minimum. Why? The gamers, I mean the developers, were not confident enough that this game will gonna be running good on 1660 Ti. That's how unoptimized that game was. So I cannot see any benchmark video right now. Yes, I cannot see any benchmark video for Forspoken GTX 1650. But what I can expect in a few hours, because the game is scheduled to launch in around next 2 hours. Let me just quickly show you guys in a moment. So on the count of three, here we go. So Forspoken, fine. Forspoken is unable to crack basically, guys. The game doesn't even come out and you guys are expecting a crack. Yeah, well said, my friend. Because Forspoken is a game which is having a de novo anti-temper DRM. So when a game has to have a DRM, basically a anti-temper de novo DRM, we cannot expect a crack anytime soon, because we have seen a whole lot of de novo games which were launched last year, even day before last year, even the year before last year, they do not even have a crack. So this is how de novo DRM is, as you can see on the right. A third-party DRM, which is the anti-piracy solution for the companies, and it is the most possible solution, the most working solution. This solution works every time and nobody is able to crack it in the recent years. This protection is getting so much strong that gamers have no option left just to live with this cancer. Why I'm calling this a cancer? A whole lot of reasons are there. They keep you limited by this anti-temper DRM. They just sells, they just place all of the performance of the game. They run in the background, these DRM. They actually track you if you are into the data tracking and everything. Yes, they actually track you every moment. They want you to connect to the internet, and they want to actually check each and everything, whether you are using a mod, whether they are using a trainer. So not only anti-piracy, but anti-cheat and anti-trainer, anti-cheat code, whatever you say. So this is the thing, which is a anti-consumer thing in my very honest opinion, and a whole lot of gamers have problem with this anti-temper de novo DRM. Also, we have the next release for 2023, guys, which is none other than Dead Space. Yes, Dead Space remake is finally coming on 27th, and it is not supposed to have any DRM. So that's a very good news. Yes, this game has a DRM which is de novo, but we can only expect other games. For instance, let's say Resident Evil Village. We have known that Resident Evil games like Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 remake, they had de novo remove after 2 or 3 years of the release. So we can at least expect Resident Evil Village to get de novo removal out of next year, I suppose, because Resident Evil Village is now finally done. All of the DLCs were finally released, and the job of de novo, I think, is now accomplished, because the Village DLC is unable to crack even after 4 or 5 months of its launch. So around next year we could at least expect de novo removal from a Capcom game, which is Resident Evil Village. This is not a confirmed news. This is just a speculation based on the previous jobs done by Capcom. Even Capcom incorporates one another DRM on top of the Resident Evil games, which I'm going to be talking about further. But the thing is that this game, which will be the Forspoken, will be having a de novo DRM. But yes, it will be having a free version as well. You can download this game for free, but only the demo version. So if you go over here, go to the Steam page, you can actually download the demo version after 2 or 3 hours. Yes, the game will gonna be unlocking in 2 hours, as you can see on the official Steam page. So yes, the game will gonna be launching quite soon in next couple of hours. So stay tuned, guys, and we will also be benchmarking the game, obviously the demo version. From this year, nearly every AAA game de novo license typically lasts a year. Then it is up to the developer, my friend, basically whether they remove it or not. If they just remove it, their game will still get pirated. So some developers actually never remove the de novo DRM, like the Assassin's Creed Valhalla and other older Assassin's Creed games. So even I think Origins still have their de novo anti-temper DRM, but it was cracked a long time ago, basically. So that's the thing. So let me just quickly see whether I have skipped a comment or not. Yep, the game does not even come out, and people, yeah, de novo. Yep, Tanuj, the game has de novo. Yep, I forgot to answer your question. Okay, so let's quickly skip out, guys, and let's see what the hell is going on. So we know that the game will gonna be unlocking in 2 hours, and obviously, I do not understand the thing that A single player game requires 150 GB of space. We have seen Call of Duty franchise getting too much heavy on the hard drive space. This game is certainly demanding a SSD and 150 GB SSD. So the thing is, this game will gonna be having 150 GB of size. I am now completely blown away by the system requirements of this game. 150 GB of storage space. To be frank, I do not even have 200 GB storage free in my PC right now. Both of my hard drives are filled with games and some personal data like photos and videos. But the thing is, the 150 GB system requirement for storage is absolutely insane. Would the world be that much massive? Well, let's see. And even the system requirement for GPUs and CPUs are demanding. We all know that from a couple of weeks or so. But the gamers are now finally saying that, hey, this is an unoptimized mess, this game is not that much good. These are only the initial impressions by the gamers and the journalists which got the early release of the game. But still, we will have to at least wait for a couple of weeks after the game launches to give a final verdict on the game, whether this game was a disaster or whether this game was a new approach in the gaming industry. Basically, this game has a new concept, a new storyline, a fresh storyline, interesting one, by the way, I suppose it turns out to be. Let's see, because I'm still not spoiling everything for you. Most of you have already just seen the reviews of IGN, GameSpot, and a couple of gameplay walkthroughs, early walkthroughs, I suppose. But still, I will be giving this game one other chance, at least for a couple of weeks, and then I will be releasing the final verdict for myself, basically. So let's go over here. And apparently, guys, let's quickly take a look at the poll. I've asked you guys in the poll, can you run Forspoken at 1080p 60 FPS? And 59% of you said, nope, I have a 1650 or equivalent, so I am unable to run. I would be unable to run. Even the PS5 performance is utter garbage. It was dropping. Okay, fine. I think I should have had just taken a look at this thing. Basically, Digital Foundry and everyone does a great job releasing these performance charts for these games. Even Assassin's Creed Valhalla was not that much great looking game, and it literally had such demanding system requirements and such poor performance on PCs. So the thing is, these days, guys, only the demand is too much high for higher specs. In reality, even a 5-year-old game would beat these games in terms of graphics. Literally, these 5-year-old games, for instance, let's say Assassin's Creed Origins, Odyssey, they were beautiful looking games with beautiful optimization, with amazing optimization. But these days, the thing is pretty much insane. The developers are not optimizing the game. The developers are just releasing the game unoptimized and releasing the system requirement too heavy. And then the gamers come out and complain, hey, this is the thing. The thing is that we should just completely stop buying these garbage games until and unless developers get a lesson. We should teach them a lesson, by the way, guys, because this is now becoming a monopoly of the developers and the Denuvo as well. Basically, we are unable to see optimized games for any hardware of sort. Anyone cannot afford a RTX 3060 and a great PC build. Even I think all those old games, like for instance, I've said Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Valhalla, not Valhalla basically, but all those old games released until 2019 and even 2020 ran pretty great in these PCs, in these mediocre PCs which are 1650. Even The Village was a great game. It ran completely fine after the Denimo removal by the Empress. So until 2021, everything was just great and smooth sailing all over in the PC gaming industry. There were no issues running the games. The minimum system requirement were GTX 960, and every gamer were able to run the game easily. And even these days, guys, these PlayStation ports are having some intense system requirements. Yes, not only the intense system requirements, but also a new technology like shader building compilation, which plagued Uncharted game. Yes, Uncharted also had this shader building thing, which was occasionally implemented, but still many of the gamers were disappointed from even the Uncharted PC optimization, given the fact that it was a very old game. But one another fact was that the game was directly ported from the PS5. That is why the system requirements were too high. Even I think the God of War Ragnarok might also be directly posted from the PS5, including the Last of Us PC. So the thing would be like the system requirements getting a little bit more high, the game not getting that performance you actually demand from your PC. So this would be the thing, I suppose, in the near future of the PC gaming. So what do you guys think? And let's go over here. Let me just quickly scroll up, and let me just quickly go here. and let's quickly refresh it. Now I think it is about 1.5 hour to go until the game launches, and this will be a very good thing basically when the gamers will gonna be criticizing this game of its flaws. When the gamers stand unite, even if the Steam reviewers and everybody stand unite, we have seen a whole lot of honest reviews so far about this game on YouTube. So when the thing is going out in front of everybody from YouTube, and when honest thing is spread throughout, these developers will get a lesson, because this game will not be just getting too much sales. When a game does not get too much sale, the developers faces loss, and in future they might actually optimize the next game which will they're going to be releasing. Not only the same publisher or the developer, but also other developers or other, basically the game companies will going to be getting a lesson. Hey, if we do not optimize the game, if we just do not provide the gamer what he or she actually need, our game might actually turn out to be a disaster. And this would be the thing which will gonna be just be the reality in the upcoming years, guys. So I think let's go over here, and I think I should go to YouTube and search for a couple of things which would give you a rough idea what is going on. So let's go here onto the YouTube. So let's go to Forspoken GTX 1650. So now we are here, and now let's see what actually is going on. So let me just sort this thing by the, let's go to last hour, and there has been nothing in the last hour except by video. So Forspoken review, so it was out quite yesterday, I suppose. Forspoken performance review, wow, I love this. Let's see, guys, let's see. Let me just quickly increase the volume and let's actually react to it. Let's go over here, and now I'm gonna be reacting to the Forspoken thing. Let's go.
It may not have been the most burning question within the gaming landscape, but Square Enix answered it nonetheless. What do you get when Alice in Wonderland meets Iron Man?
Okay, so this will be very interesting, guys. Even the PS5, even in the performance moves, cannot hit the 60 FPS cap. That's crazy. Let's see. Oh, did she actually said crazy? Well, even the protagonist said herself that this game is literally crazy. Fuck.
Forspoken. That's what
Okay.
are the biggest changes of gear, with both being focused around parkour and fast, fluid travel, dodge, lock on, and 25% reduction in frame time.
Even we can get a rough idea, because even PS4 is kind of dead these days, guys, because PS4 is not getting anything. Yes, not any AAA title, not any major AAA title. So you can get a lot of expectation that if a game is not even ready for PS4, we can see how badly that game would be optimized. Only one game I would love to enjoy is God of War Ragnarok, which might actually launch next year or by the end of this year, I suppose, because that game was even ported for PS4. So I would definitely enjoy that game, and I have certain and ultimate hopes that game will gonna be amazingly optimized.
But in reality, this makes a minor impact to image for an improvement to the fluidity and control, which can be vital with such a fast-paced, action-centric title. The engine has a high input latency, and running it at 30 FPS means we get median times of 225 milliseconds, within the quality mode being the worst of the lot, closely aligned with that ray tracing mode at 2.
Oh god, did you saw that latency, guys?
It can now flip into an 8 millisecond refresh when a frame is dropped, bringing the
Always, it is always a challenge for the developers to optimize an open world AAA game, because open world AAA game has a whole lot of dynamic things involved into it, and it's always a challenge to optimize a game for each and every hardware or each and every console or each and every PC. So the thing is, these AAA games requires a lot of optimization. The developers might actually just develop the game, do not test it a whole lot, release the release date, and then release the game eventually. And when the developers get criticism, then the things will go just crazy. The people who have actually got fascinated by the trailers and everything, they will still play the game, purchase the game, and their experience might get ruined up seeing such poor optimization.
median input time down by some 60 milliseconds. The 60 FPS performance mode does gain, but only the expected 8 milliseconds frame time peak, giving a small 7.2. Oh, well, geometry, lighting, shadows, global illumination, specular, and more do look good, but with definite last generation seams and reflections and specula standing out in quite a few places. Yes, polygon count on characters is good, materials are pretty good, and general facial and skeletal animation.
Certainly, except the protagonist, not everything looks great, in my honest opinion. In fact, guys, because still we have seen better looking games than this one.
Is certainly not bad. That said, it does look cross-generation good, with higher textures and assets over a potential PlayStation 4 version. Compared to Final Fantasy 15, it is superior, specifically in resolution and image stability, even compared to the Pro version here, but not to any generational looking degree. Aside from improved assets,
Yeah, well said. That's what I was saying as well, guys. Not a generational degree grab just feels in this game, because the thing is that it just does not look that it is a very demanding. It does not justify the system requirements. That's the thing.